Welcome to Quality Health Finder Clinician Conversations. So today I'm joined by Yvonne Mattis, who is a podiatrist.
Hello there, Lorraine.
We'll dive right in. It's funny that people will happily talk about any part of their body, but feet seems to be a no-go. I think of Eddie Murphy's character in Boomerang, where he couldn't handle his girlfriend's feet. Why do you think there's such a taboo around feet?
I think people tend to see the feet as the last part of the body and not as accessible as the rest of the body. So I think that's why people tend to not take care of them. And some people use shoes to make the feet prettier rather than actually making the feet healthier.
Let's talk about cutting of the toenails. What is the best way to cut toenails to prevent ingrowing toenails?
So we do recommend that people cut the toenails straight across and not too short. And the reason not too short is because when the nails grow up and they're too short, they grow into the sides. And unfortunately, that can cause the nail to break the skin and bacteria can flood it. So straight across is the general rule. And if there is a problem, if there's pain or infection or redness or swelling around the area, that is when you should actively seek out a podiatrist.
And another common issue is athlete's foot. Is there anything that people can do at the early stages when it's starting to appear?
So athlete's foot sometimes presents with somebody having a very itchy foot. And also, if you look at the foot, you'll probably see some small circular flaky patches. If the infection is very bad, then you can get oral medication, terbinafine. However, with terbinafine, not everybody can take it, and because the medication is quite potent. Aside from that, there are over-the-counter creams and foot sprays. If you're unsure, the pharmacist can help you with that. Also, keeping the foot nice and clean and drying in between the digits, the toes, after you've had a bath or shower. You could also use surgical spirit to dry out in between the toes after you've dried them up. But personal hygiene is very important because sometimes that is what causes fungal infections in the feet and on the toenails as well.
So I should say now that we studied together and I was fortunate enough to meet you on my first day of university and you took me under your wing as your lunch buddy, and I will always be grateful for that. But I don't think I ever asked you, what led you to podiatry?
It was all an accident. I do not have this story of when I was young, I always wanted to be a podiatrist. I've always been dreaming of this. It didn't come like that at all. It was simply that I loved physiology and anatomy, and I did a fitness instructor course where they found that I was very good with anatomy and physiology, and somebody from there suggested that maybe I should go into podiatry. And then I looked it up and I thought, oh, do you know what? This is for me. So there's no special story about it, in just that it fell on me rather than I fell on it. And I have never looked back since. It's absolutely brilliant career.
Well, that's so nice to hear. And it does sound like there's a story attached. So you mentioned earlier about, seeking a podiatrist with regards to ingrowing toenail. Is there any other symptoms that someone might have at home and need to see a podiatrist?
There's loads. So pain under the foot, pain in the foot. Pain can come from many different, it can be caused by many different things. So you may have a pain and you find out it might be a corn or hard skin. Pain caused from trauma from footwear. Pain because you've got plantar fasciitis. Pain from a sports injury. Pain from a wound. You may have knocked the toe on the bed and the toenails become bruised or the toes become bruised. Maybe you've used the wrong cream on the foot. Some people buy corn removers. They contain acids, and people come in with burnt skin because they've used an acid and not known how to use a product properly. There are so many reasons. A verruca, especially young children, may have a verruca that they can't get rid of. There are so many reasons why you could visit a podiatrist.
Well, endless. And that's exactly why we created Quality Health Finder, because we wanted trusted clinicians like you to be found with ease. We're inviting clinicians to register ahead of public launch. So, Yvonne, what made you decide to register and why should other podiatrists follow?
Well, Quality Health Finder is a good way of people being able to search different healthcare providers. in terms of podiatry, a lot of people do not know where to go to find the right care. So I've registered because I'm out there to be found, and somebody can find me quite easy, as well as finding somebody else. You are a darling friend. But to be honest, as much as a friend you are, if I didn't think it was a good platform to be on, I wouldn't have registered, full stop.
Thank you. Well, we're incredibly passionate about it, and it's something that we are fully aware that patients are asking for. So we invite clinicians to engage and jump on board.
Quality Health Finder is a UK platform designed to help patients find trusted care more easily. Clinicians create a profile, add their services, which can be updated at any time and location. If anything is missing, the form will guide you. Once your profile is live, patients will be able to find you more easily. Registration takes 1 minute and you'll receive an email when it's complete.
So anyone that wants to receive retreatment from you before Quality Health Finder goes live, how can they?
This is the only, apart from being HCPC registered, this is the only platform that I have registered on.
Well, we'll take that as an absolute honour. Thank you, Yvonne, for your time today. I really appreciate it. If you found this conversation helpful, please share, like and subscribe, and we'll be sharing more health facts with you in the future. Thank you.